ceremony commemorating the 200th anniversary of the War of 1812. On this occasion, we'd like to recognize again the Honorable J.J. Grant, Brigadier General and Lieutenant Governor of Nova Scotia, Miss Susan Crystal, Minister Counselor of Public Affairs for the U.S. Embassy in Ottawa, representing Ambassador David Jacobson, Rear Admiral Gardam, Commander, Maritime Forces Atlantic, Rear Admiral Parks, Commander, Coast Guard 9th District, Commander Storm, and the officers and crew of the USS Laboon, His Worship, Mayor Kelly, Mrs. Ginger Apier, President of the National Society of the Daughters of 1812, Daughters of the War of 1812, and Lieutenant Colonel Retired Lawrence K. Casey Jr., President of the General Society of the War of 1812, the King's Orange Rangers in the back, and other distinguished guests. We thank you all for coming to this hallowed ground we call Deadman's Island. This day was established to honor our fallen men and women. For all of us who enjoy the freedoms of everyday life, this is our day to remember those who answered the call of duty, left loved ones, and sadly never returned. 160 some odd Union soldiers that died of exposure in a makeshift prison near Charleston, South Carolina. These men moved the dead POWs from a mass grave to individual graves. On May 1st, 1865, a 10th hour became official in 1967. 188 Americans lie in the hill behind you. Not far from here, U.S. Navy boatswain's mate and Miss Shannon and the USS Chesapeake are buried side by side at the Naval Cemetery in Stadacona from the War of 1812. Every year, the U.S. Consulate is given information concerning American veterans. We thank you all for joining us today to honor the heritage and sacrifice of our fallen. On the purpose and gathering that we have here today.
Guidance for the leaders of our countries, for President Obama, for Prime Minister Harper, Your Honor, Your Worship, distinguished guests, Laboon, Halifax, costume warriors, it is indeed an honor for me to be here today to celebrate your Memorial Day and to recognize its importance. 1812 was a significant battle between our two countries. But out of the ashes of that battle rose two great nations. They stand here before us today. The United States of America and Canada. The two nations that have the strongest friendship and the longest undefended border of any two countries in the world. Yesterday, I had the honor to attend a memorial service at our downtown facility at the Cenotaph, which was run and organized by young students from grades 7 to 12. Canadians all standing there, recognizing those who had gone before us. I think we can stand proud, realizing that we stand on the shoulders of those who have gone before us, and they will stand on our shoulders. That's what this is all about. It's about honor. There is no glory in death, but there is honor in remembrance. Thank you very much.
Admiral Garden, men and women in uniform, distinguished guests, it's truly a great honor for me to be here today to represent the United States and the United States Coast Guard as we gather to recognize the bicentennial of the War of 1812 and honor the sacrifices of those who served their nations in the last conflict that actually pitted us against one another. This Monday marks the observance of Memorial Day in the United States, and much like Canada's Remembrance Day, it is time set aside to remember the lives and losses of our fathers and mothers, husbands and wives, sons and daughters, close friends, and fellow warriors. Died while in captivity a short distance from here in Melville Island Prison. It's appropriate because we are living proof of their enduring legacies, their sacrifices, and their losses, which are not in vain. For without the efforts of those who fought and died so long ago, we wouldn't find ourselves. I'm reminded of the fact that the War of 1812 prompted several legacies for the Revenue Cutter Service, which later became today's United States Coast Guard. Just as the Coast Guard's roles in Homeland Security drastically increased as a result of the terrorist attacks of September 11th, so did our roles in national defense operations increase as a result of the War of 1812. It was a difficult and dangerous war for all, but one that firmly established the notion that protection of the coast and coastal efforts to manage risks and accelerate legitimate flows of people and commerce across our shared border. As President Kennedy said in his 1961 address to Canadian made us partners, and necessity has made us allies. Those whom nature has so joined together, let no man put asunder. What unites us is far greater than what divides us. End quote. And that has never been more true than it is today. The collaborative spirit enjoyed by our nations are vital to the building the seamless binational enterprise of safety, security, and that the objectives of the Beyond the Border Declaration can be met. Let us not forget the sacrifices of not only those interred here on Deadman's Island, but also those who fought on both sides of the War of